Hey, what's going on? Good morning. Good morning from the comfort of my couch. It is quiet in the house. Not a creature is stirring. Not even this guy. Look at this. Isn't this pathetic? Okay, a little confession time. Look at this guy. He owns a couch. He kills the couch over here. He makes it his own. And he said, no, we're not going to be having it this morning. Yes, you usually see Owen out on the beach walking, but to let you know, really, he's just a couch potato. Hey, listen, good morning to you and happy Wednesday. Hope you're having an amazing day. Hey, good morning, Robin. Welcome. Good morning to you. Glad that you popped on here for a minute. And I wanted to jump in and talk about being able to say no. Yeah, it's probably one of the most challenging things that I've come across myself, and also a lot of people that I talk with, especially people who are trying to take better care of themselves. And now it's the new year, it's January, and of course, we all have our health on probably a higher priority, even if maybe you're not doing the things that you really want to do. And one of those reasons is because we say yes. I know a big challenge for most people, especially as we get responsibilities. Like, I know I have to walk him in a little bit or he's going to be a beast. I know I have to meet with my team in about 20 minutes. I know I have to take care of myself. I know I have to do work. I have to take care of my coaching students, all those types of things. Hey, by the way, you like that cool painting in the background? It's a jellyfish. Just kind of really cool. As a local artist here, I have another piece of his work over on that side over there of the pier that they're redoing right now here down the street. But anyway, I don't want to digress too much. Being able to say no. Sometimes it takes being able to say no to some things so that you're able to say yes to more of the things that you need in your life. And I don't know what that looks like for you, but I do know that if you've maybe not been really great about taking care of yourself, about taking care of your health, about exercising, about maybe even thinking about or planning your day, planning time for yourself, or planning, you're like, Mark, life is just too hectic, too busy. I got my full-time job and I got to take care of my family's needs, and I got to pick up my kids from here and my grandchildren, and I got to watch them and all those things, right? And again, the key is learning how to say no. Now, of course, we have certain responsibilities we can't get out of, right? We have a job. Typically, if you have a job, you have to go to your job, or you have to wake up and go on Zoom for jobs nowadays, right? But one of the things that is going to really affect whether or not you succeed moving forward into this new year, especially, let's just say you're trying to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds. Now, I know it's hard enough as it is if you're trying to go it alone. What's even harder is if everybody else has priorities above your own. Now, I always say this, and I'll go to the grave with this, and I've said it before, and I think he will agree. Owen, he's like out for the count. He doesn't even want it. He's like, no, Mark. He's like, no, Dad, it's cold out. I'm not going outside. Let's just stay inside and get cozy. And he's saying no to me right now, which is actually a good lesson. He's saying, no, I'm not. I don't care if we go out until it gets warmer out. My question to you is, do you have what you need so you can say yes to you? One of the things that you might just need to do in this new year is to be able to say no. Say no to some of the obligations that maybe people put on you. Maybe there's so many things on your plate right now, and it's hard for you to even think about taking 10 minutes out for yourself. That could be something that could be a complete game changer. So I've learned from some of my coaches and some of my mentors over the years is, in order for you to do things better, like if you want to do things really, really well, you have to take less off your plate. You have to do less things. It's kind of like, I always think of it in this terms, and I don't know if this will resonate with you. Hopefully it won't make you hungry. Is I think about a restaurant. Like, for me, in my experience, and maybe this isn't the same for you, but for me, in my experience with restaurants, some here locally, some of the best restaurants, some of the absolute best and even most well-known restaurants here, some high-end restaurants here, they have very few items on the menu, right? Very few items on the menu. They have like maybe one sheet, and there's maybe like 2 or 3 entrees, 4 entrees, maybe an appetizer or 2, versus going to, and I'm not knocking Cheesecake Factory, but it's like literally like a Bible of food choices that you can have. And to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily a fan of it. I'd much rather go to the one where I know They make a few things and they make it really, really well. So in order for you, kind of like if you think in your journey, if you want to do things better, you might need to say no to some things so that you can do things better, like maybe exercise. Maybe you do exercise now, and maybe you're thinking about while you're exercising, and I do this myself. I start thinking about my business. I start thinking about the other things I have to do. I got to get back, got to take care of this, got to stop at the store, got to run all these errands for everybody else. And then my workouts then they suck, right? Or if it's food, like if you start getting busy in your day, next thing you know, you're starving, and then you make poor food choices. Well, you've said yes to all these things, these distractions, and that can actually hinder you from getting great results. So my question to you is, going into the new year, hey, Billings birthday party forward, taking my own refreshments that I can enjoy, setting it up for others, and end up eating yesterday, so I just do it differently. Yeah, sometimes it requires just doing it differently, but sometimes it's also going to require just saying no. Like maybe today is the day that you actually say no to some things that are on your plate so you can actually scoot over and make a little bit of room for yourself to say yes to you so that you can do what you need moving forward in your day so that you can actually improve. It's one thing to help everybody else improve and everybody else get better and take care of everybody else's needs, but what's to say about you taking care of your own needs? Oh, it goes back to what I'd shared, and this is my last final note on this. If you think about in an airplane, this is the airplane analogy, the mask analogy or mask illustration. If you think when you get on an airplane and they go over the emergency guidelines and the rules and regulations, and they say, okay, and they show you the mask, she brings it down, she unravels it, has it in her hand. The flight attendant will say, hey, if in an emergency and the oxygen masks come down, before you put it on, your family member, your child, or your neighbor next to you, sitting next to you, put on your own oxygen mask first. And I've shared this illustration many times before. And I think today, in just where we're at in this world and how crazy it is, it's so easy to be wanting to put the oxygen mask on everybody else, trying to take care of everybody else, yet we're forgetting to do what's really, really important, is to put our own oxygen mask on. So today could be that day. And listen, if you want help, shoot me a private message. Breakthrough 2022. I work with men and women over 40 to get them off the weight loss journey. Now, there's a lot of people, maybe you're listening right now. Maybe you're having great success on your crash diet. You're having great success in your HCG. You're having great success in your metabolic program. You're having great success in your fat burner pills. You're having great success with keto. You're having great success on intermittent fasting. You're having great success on all of these tactics and tools. But to be honest with you, if we were just to kind of cut right down to it, none of those things are permanent solutions. None of them. You know, even the extreme weight loss surgeries that I've talked to a number of people in the past year, I know for a fact they're not solutions, because they're talking to me because they're still struggling with the weight, which is interesting because that's extreme, right? Even to that extreme level, none of those are solutions. The way to get a solution is to first realize that here's the problem I have, right? Not necessarily the weight, the reasons why the weight's there, and to work through those by developing new habits, by getting around, encouraging people, like-minded people who are pursuing that with you. Now, my inner circle, we were so excited last night. We did our one word for the year. I even asked that earlier. Go back and check out my post about your word for the year. We did an entire training on that. We had a guest speaker last night. It was awesome. And anyway, I hope this helps. Now, maybe your word for the year is no. In other words, learning how to say no to the things that are keeping you from taking good care of yourself and your personal health. Anyway, take care. I got to run. I got a meeting. I got to say no to you now because I got to say yes to my team in a few minutes. Talk to you soon.